But the coolest thing is right here. I got the $130 perk. I mean, I don't usually spend $130 on perks, but next time you're in Greece, you've got a bookstore with a bed and your name on it because you're keeping the Atlantis books alive. It will paint it up for you and spiral loud and proud. So I can sleep in the bookstore in Greece whenever I want. How cool is that? That's pretty cool. So here's another one. So all I'm doing is going to show you a few more examples, and then we're going to talk about all these tips, and then we're done. Okay? And we don't need to stop at a quarter up because we don't need to wait for questions. Questions are coming the whole time. What are you like?
Maybe it's really loud.
I'm Colleen Wainwright. And on September 13th, 2011, this year, in 50 days, I turned 50 years old.
2 days ago. 3 days ago. I don't know.
I don't need anything. I've lived a long time. I don't want anything. I got friends who can help me with everything I don't have already.
See this? See this?
What I decided I want to do for my 50th birthday
1,059
is
funders.
something big, something awesome, something that means something that will change a whole lot of lives and make the world a better place. What I want to do is over the next 50 days, I want to raise $50,000 for my favorite nonprofit organization in the entire world, Right Girl, an organization right here in Los Angeles that helps turn high school girls into strong, confident women by teaching them writing and communication skills. I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need you to give whatever you can. And in exchange, I'm going to give you whatever I can. Full prizes, giveaways, whatever. You can check out the Indiegogo page and it'll tell you everything you need to know. You can get on board for as little as $5 measly. You cheapskate, $5 for girls. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all in on this one. Because in 50 days, on my 50th birthday, if we raise all $50,000 for these girls, I am going to shave my head bald. That's right. Madam Cue Ball. So come on, reach into your pocket. Reach into your friend's pocket. Go pickpocket someone. Get us all your money. Because we got 50 days to raise $50,000. And we're going to do it. Colleen Wainwright. Believing in you.
But check this out. I mean, the fact that she reached $60,000 is quite great. But
What are the perks?
You can see the perks over here. For $5, song pack, so a collection of MP3s, a brand new B. Frank design. Ooh, whoops, sorry, I clicked on the other thing. So yeah, there was, for $15, 48 people took that. Whoa, everybody loved that one. What's that? The internet's getting a little choppy on me. 418 people wanted the digital monster pack. You get MP3s, the pattern, wallpapers, and a bonus copy of my hit poetry twofer. The poem, How to Write a Poem, the essay, Deconstructing It.
I haven't found out how I wrote How to Write a Poem.
Some people gave $75, some people gave $250, some people gave $1,000. Nobody gave $50,000. Just saying. These guys are getting in vitro fertilization. They're not giving out perks. But it doesn't get more serious than that. I met my husband when I was 16. She basically said she can't have a baby, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty crazy, right? But it is what it is. What you can say here is, wow, that's weird. But really what you can say is the American healthcare system is broken. So you can't actually get funded by the insurance to have a mutual fertilization because that's not considered an actual insurance thing. So they can't afford it. So they went to crowdfunding. Here you go. Send cool Jewishness to Budapest for $5. Anyway, I want to show you this one.
$30,000.
$30,000. Here we go. This is actually one of my favorite ones, and it's funny because I'm Jewish. And wait till you hear it.
Hey everyone, it's TJ here. I thought I'd just take a couple of minutes to kind of update the fundraising and
So this is not
explain,
the first video.
you know, why we
This
need
is
this
like further
30,000.
into it, they updated the video.
I wanted it to be in one take. I wanted it to be like an honest look into what we do, into our company. So here it goes. I started Walking Love 5.5 years ago, and my whole goal behind starting it was to remind people of the love of Christ. And I think we've done that over the past 5 years as we've grown and matured and kind of evolved into what we are today. Yeah, so with that being said, I think sometimes people think it's weird that, people may think it's weird that we're asking for money even though we're a business. And maybe it is, but I just want to say that this is my life's mission. This is the call that I believe God has placed on my life to run this company and to be in the public reminding people of the love of Jesus. The store will be open for hopefully more than a year, but in the first year I don't even see myself taking any money, taking a salary of any sort. I work another job just so I can pay my bills and stuff, but this is what I love to do. This is what I just have a longing to do, and I hope that you guys can see that and that you can get behind it because we really do need this money. We do really need your help. We want to do this, and we want to be in the mall, and we want people to know that Jesus loves them, and we want.
The reason it's one of my favorite campaigns is not because of that video. I mean, like, I'm Jewish, so it's funny that I like a campaign that's like all about Jesus, right? But the amazing thing is, this guy, the Walk in Love shirt that he has on, it's an amazing shirt. Like, they are incredible designers. Like, their clothes are crazy good. It just so happened that he directs it towards whatever, Christianity and spreading all that stuff. The cool thing is there was no store. There used to be just his passion. He funded it. They got it funded by selling t-shirts and hoodies and all kinds of stuff, right? They made this amazing infographic, whatever. I've been to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I've been to that store. It opened in April. It's the coolest thing going. Like, no one knows. It's the front. See, how should I say this? Here he's being really exposed, like talking about it, but when you go out in the store, you think you're at like American Apparel or like what's it called, Pull & Bear? What is that, Pull & Bear? Whatever, it's like one of these like really hip, like all of you would want to buy it, like the stuff. You'd be like, I want one of those, I want one of those. And he has 15 employees. So he's paying 15 people salaries. Like they're totally making money. And it wouldn't have existed unless he did this. So it's like so cool, I think. But, so I like that. Okay, we're gonna be done with our little safari of Indiegogo. Unless you guys have any other things you want me to take a look at. I'm trying to think. 1 second. Let me search.
Second annual sausage fest.
That's right. So check this out. These are like crazy. These are all health campaigns. I just want to show that it's all kinds of stuff. So people running marathons, that's obvious. Whoa, what's that? What are you doing?
I wasn't doing nothing.
Take it easy. This is really cool. This is somebody from the US that needed a stem cell transplant. Sorry, I think it's somebody from the US that needed somebody from the US that needed a stem cell transplant. They found somebody from China to actually do it. They couldn't afford the stem cell transplant, so they actually got all these people to fund it. I mean, this is totally global, right? It's like wicked cool. Here's like, you know, this is like a really great DJ, and you need help.
Wow.
You know.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
These are all individual people. Do you have like UNICEF asking for funding?
Great question. Great question. You saw Right Girl? You saw Right Girl. So Right Girl is not UNICEF, but Right Girl is a big nonprofit, right? It's not quite as big as the things you're talking about. But what works, though, and the reason Indiegogo works and what you need to do is you need to be personally engaging. So UNICEF putting a commercial on saying, we're UNICEF, give us money, would not work. What you need to see, that's yesterday. They already do those. It's called commercials on TV, right? What you need to do is you need to be you, and you care about UNICEF. You create a campaign, say, I care about UNICEF, this is, we should do this, whatever. And we have what's called partner pages. And right now, crowdfunding is still very individual based. You know, we're still in the early days of crowdfunding. Brands and organizations, governments haven't really gotten involved that much yet. Fast forward a little bit, like all governments, all brands, all organizations will all be doing it in different versions. I'm speaking in London in a few days, and I'm going to be talking about how big brands use crowdfunding and how they will. So that's a totally separate talk, but I'm more talking about the future a little bit.
It's okay afterward.
But here I want to show you, like, here's a partner page that we have. So if you have an organization that you want on Indiegogo where it could be many campaigns, so without going into details, Fractalis is an organization in America, and they have lots of different creative campaigns that try to do stuff. So they partnered with us, and see, they've raised over nearly $1.3 million, whatever, were 452 campaigns. So those campaigns were approved. We don't approve anything, right? We'll take anybody, but this organization has its own page on Indiegogo, and they care about who's on their page, so they approved. All right. We have 20 minutes left, and I'm about to boggle your mind. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So, oh, that's nothing. You don't want to take a picture of that. I leave it all, it's all in words. The three most important things to know are these things about a campaign. One, be an honest and engaging campaign. Two, be proactive. And three, have an audience that cares. So you just watched like all those videos, all those campaigns. You kind of memorized all of them. So I'm going to give you some of like the facts behind all this. Again, this is based on 40,000 campaigns and a lot of facts as opposed to my opinion. So number one, you need to have a good and honest, engaging pitch. So that's based on 5 components. One, you want to have a video campaign versus a non-video campaign. A video campaign will raise you 122% more money than a non-video campaign. You might say, of course, it's because it's a video. I'm not going to explain why anything. I'm just going to tell you the facts. Okay? 122% more money. You want to have a honest and realistic goal. That doesn't mean a high goal or a low goal. It just means it has to be honest and realistic for whatever you're trying to accomplish. You can raise $500, you can raise $5,000, you can raise $5 million. Maybe for you it's not honest and realistic to raise $5 million. But whatever that is for you to decide, right? The next thing is you need to have a good deadline. A good deadline is between 1 and 120 days that you can do on Indiegogo. What we see, the best results are between 30 and 70 days. That does not mean that your campaign should be between 30 and 70 days. According to the data, that's where the most success has been happening, is between 30 and 70 days. What I would suggest is you want to have your campaign to be whatever the amount of time that you can be active for. If you can be active for a week, make your campaign a week. If you can be active for 3 months, make your campaign 3 months. As we'll talk about in a second, because what that influences is the go-go factor. The go-go factor determines how active your campaign is. We track every single action, and based on your go-go factor, we then promote you more. If you extend the life of your campaign just to make it longer and are not active, your go-go factor will go down, and it'll actually be negative to have a longer campaign. Yeah? And we also know that you need deadlines, and the closer you get to the deadline, the better, because then people will fund more. Next thing is you need to have perks. 93% of campaigns that get funded will have perks. That means 7% do not have perks. You probably want to side with the 93%, right? You want to have, perks are, things that we covered, right? Unique products, services, discounts, cool things, whatever. You need to have honest and engaging copy. The copy that if you read some of these things, or if you saw the way they talk, none of these people were selling you, right? What this guy that just told you about his walk in love, and we could talk about any of them, he didn't say that I'm going to have the best t-shirts in the business. They are going to be $14.99. They'll be better than the store next to me because I have better quality print. That's selling, right? I saw you shake your head. But see, that's selling and advertising. No one wants to fund a commercial. Like literally. No one says that's a great Coca-Cola commercial. Let me just get in on that, right? So you want to be honest and engaging, so you have to connect to them. That's why the UNICEF thing, you need to put a face behind it, right? And you need the copy to resonate with that. Why do you need this money? What are you using for? What do I get in return? How does this all play out? Every single campaign is like a story. It's really like a narrative. It has a beginning, it has an arc, it has an ending because it has a deadline, and then it has a result, right? People get really excited because at the end it's like, oh, that's awesome. As opposed to just like handing money to charity and be like, I gave $50 to charity today, I feel good about myself. No, they're actually part of something that's amazing. So that's an honest and engaging pitch, yeah? Yes.
Which of the categories gets the most funding or reaches the goal? Like movie makers, photographers, entrepreneurs?
We see success across all categories. I don't want to bias your perspective based on where Indiegogo is kind of focused on purpose, if that makes sense. We purposely do certain things that we don't do other things. So that doesn't mean that you should think, oh, I could do better if I was this or that. I'm purposely not answering your question.
It was purely out of research.
We'll talk about research later then. The second thing is you need to be proactive. We know that if you have 4 or more people on your team, remember at the bottom there's the team. If you have 4 or more people on your team, you'll raise 65% more money than if you have 1 person on your team. We know that if you have 13 or more updates, you'll raise, because you don't want to have a static campaign. You don't just put it up and walk away. You know that guy was talking about Walk in Love, it's like an update. So if you have 13 or more updates, you'll raise 65% more, 70% more money than if you have 5 or less updates.
What do you mean by updates?
Yeah, an update is you create your campaign, and then after you create your campaign, you want to do updates to be able to like tell the people that are funding you and reaching out to you. So here's like a campaign. Let's see their updates. So these guys have updates here. So 68 updates. So you want to like, what happens is you create the update, you write something, or you add a video, and then it sends out to everybody that's already been part of your campaign. So you want to keep them engaged throughout the story, like it's chapters, right? The next thing is updates. You want to use social media. So you want to use email, Facebook, Twitter, reach out. You want to do that a lot. We already talked about that a little bit before. You think you're not doing it enough. You think you're doing it too much. I virtually guarantee you're not doing it nearly enough. So you need to reach out to influencers, all the top people, the top brands, the top bloggers, the top press that you know. Try to get all of that stuff to get the word out. Okay? And we know as a fact that your number 1 funding resource will be email, your number 2 funding resource will be Facebook, and your number 3 will be Twitter. Okay? Do you need your own website? It's not required. Is it helpful? Yes. I don't have the exact stat, but the people that have more transparency, we're still investigating this one as a new one, but the people that have more transparency at the bottom, see right here? Oh look, these guys have 5 people on their team, right? 4 or more. The more transparency you have, also find this campaign on, the more money you tend to raise. I don't have the exact stat yet, but like you don't have to put anything. You don't have to tell me you have a Twitter page, you have a website, you have a Facebook, you have a blog, you don't have to say any of that. But that's closer to fraud, right? Because now you're like, give me more information, is this real? I don't know. I'm not really your friend, and I don't get to search more, so I'm kind of like, this is weird. So the more you credentialize yourself, the better. I don't have the exact stat, we're analyzing that one. So that's be proactive. The last one is you need to find an audience that cares. So no one wakes up in the morning and says, oh, I just should go on some random website and find some stranger who has no money in their account and no money in their campaign, and I should give them the first $20 because I'm really nice. That doesn't really happen. It doesn't happen anywhere on any platform. So what you need to do is you need to work really hard, and you need to tap into your own network, and you need to get that ball rolling. And what we found is that you need to reach about 30 to 40% of your goal, not an absolute dollar amount, not 100, not 500, not 10,000, just 30 to 40% of your goal to be able to now stimulate strangers to start funding you. Right? So that means you should strategize your goal correctly to really think about what that means. Right? After that, we see on average you get 20% of your funding from complete strangers. I told you this before. It does not mean that you will get 20% of your funding from complete strangers. You might get 0% of your funding from complete strangers, or you might get over 90% of your funding. The way you can get more opportunity is to have a higher go-go factor. The go-go factor is an algorithm which tracks every single activity that happens on your campaign. How many people look at it, how many people share it, how many people fund it, how many people comment on it, blah, blah, and blah, right? So we track all this and we create a score for you. Every one of the campaigns has a score. The higher your score, the higher your go-go factor, the more promotion you get from Indiegogo, the more likelihood that you'll get strangers to fund your campaign. The way that you increase your go-go factor is by doing all the things that we've talked about, right? Yeah, is there anything? Yeah, so that's, you want to rock your go-go factor. So you start your campaign, you get your inner circle to start funding you, you're rocking your go-go factor, you get more exposure from us. We have a ladder of promotion. It goes from featured, it's popular on the homepage, featured on the homepage, listed in the blog, get your own feature in the blog, be in the newsletter, featured in the newsletter, get included in press, get your own press, like we get an article about you. And you know, the higher your go-go factor, the more we can get you on that stuff. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pause there for a second. I know it's a lot of facts. Your faces have all gone from like really exciting to I want to do this to like, whoa. He wants more. He's like, in the Netherlands, they're 33% more likely to fund a music campaign. Are those secrets, tips, and tricks good? Yeah, so we keep on analyzing all that stuff. What else? How about we pause there for a question? Yes. We need to pass the mic. We have 10 minutes left, we're doing good.
It's also very nice to ask people not for money, but for other stuff. So, and you also get people that just give you something. Like we had a guy who wanted to write a poem, and he got it published in the newspaper for us, and in that way we got some extra response. So in this way, it's also very nice to get people in your project. They say, I don't have any money, but I can do this and this and this for you, and they're still, of course, a participant in the whole project. And it's really nice that people do this as well, because it is more about communicating than it's only about the money. So think about how you can ask people to give something and not only money.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point, but I want to actually give you my point of view on that. I think you're absolutely correct that money is not the only thing you're looking for. You're looking for participation, you're looking for other ways to promote, you're looking for more exposure, all that stuff. That said, the tendency, based on my 3.5 years of experience at Indiegogo and nearly 40,000 campaigns, is people, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, given that you're less, Americans are maybe more this way. But anyway, you're less likely to want to be direct about asking for money. The funny thing is, you need to be super, super direct. Let's go back to the spamming and the communication. You have no idea how many times you think you were clear that you were asking for money. That person read your email and they thought they did exactly what they were supposed to do, which was just read your email. Because you wrote a 4-paragraph email At the bottom, there's a tiny link, help if you like, and that's it. They had no idea, even, that there's a 31-day campaign. It's going to end at the end of the month. You need $40,000, otherwise you're not going to be able to open this bookstore. Does it make sense? So you need to be super, super direct. And if you think you're not direct enough, if you think you're too direct, I'm sure you're not direct enough. So that's in complement to what you're saying. So I totally agree with you in getting, so the way I would do it is I would have in the title, you know, raising $40,000 by December whatever to open bookstore. You know, friends and family, I know whatever, and you can find this stuff in the blogs. We have sample stuff written, you can find all this. You know, as you know, I've been working on this. We really would love your support. There's 3 funding levels. Please fund now. Here's the link. Thank you. The reason I am doing this is because whatever. Some of you are not able to fund me. I would still love to have your support with X, Y, and Z, right? So super direct. That's my opinion. Other people will tell you otherwise. Just my opinion. What else? Let's pass it over there. Here's like a list of tons of crowdfunding sites if you want to use, or if you want to read about hundreds of them.
Like you have the first period, then you get a lot of funders or friends and family who are enthusiastic and people, what is it, gunnen? What's it in Dutch? They think you deserve it or something, deserve factor, and you work hard and blah blah, you generate positivity.
Yep.
And then you have a certain silence point in the middle.
Yep.
I'm now with my campaign in this silence point. How do you get past that point?
Yeah, great question. So advanced crowdfunding, is you would spend as much time in advance of the campaign as you're going to do during the campaign. Now, if it sounds like this is a lot of work, that's because it is a lot of work if you want it to all be amazing. So what you would do is in advance, get, you know, your bloggers lined up. Hey, Johnny, Bill, Jen, I want you to blog on Tuesday, I want you to blog the following week, I want you to blog the following week, and you spread it out. In advance, you would come up with, okay, I'm going to have an email every week. This is going to be my first email, this is going to be my second email, this is going to be whatever. I'm going to come up with a surprise perk 2 weeks in. Like you didn't know, but I just got this brand new perk. There's only 5 of these I'm going to offer. The first 5 people to get it, no one else will get it. So people will come check it out, what's that perk, whatever. So it was like this entire plan. You're going to partner with UNICEF because it's some children's bookstore, whatever. So you won't announce UNICEF on day 1. You'll wait till that lull. You'll be like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. We just got UNICEF. And everybody will say, see, they don't know you planned this like strategically. They're going to be like, this campaign is really hot. I should get in on this campaign. Because when I went the first time and I was like, I don't know. Now he got UNICEF. This is awesome. Right? And then another thing you can do is you had your own $30,000. Remember I said you have your $30,000, right? You can set the, you can just say, hey, I've committed my $30,000 now. So really all we need left is $10,000. I mean, you can say whatever you want. Nike just came in and gave us a sponsorship. You know, and now they're going to, and as much as you can line that up in advance, the better. Obviously a lot of stuff will happen during the campaign because Curry Serendipity, it'll be dynamic, stuff will happen. And you'll want to be flexible to that. You'll get press out of nowhere. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, we just got into the Financial Times and the whatever, the local paper called Maastricht News. All right, I'm pretty much like done.
I think if there are no questions anymore.
I'll give you one more campaign. This is great.
One more campaign.
Oh, you gotta watch this campaign. If you don't think crowdfunding is awesome after this, 1 second. Here we go, ready?
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Self, and I didn't always look like this.
Once upon a time, I had a full set of teeth just like you.
But over the weekend, I chipped my tooth, and now when I smile, I look like this. Now, I love the Beverly Hillbillies as much as the next guy, but I don't want to look like I'm guest starring as their cousin Chester. Y'all's house still reads now. This thing called dental insurance, and I don't have it. I just got back from the dentist, and not only did they have to give me a root canal because of an infection inside of my broken tooth, but they also let me know that a brand new tooth will cost $2,000. That's a lot of money. Okay, so here's my crazy idea. I'm reaching out to you, my YouTube viewers, my Twitter followers, my blog readers, my Facebook friends, Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters doesn't follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, Barbara Walters. Sorry, let's get to the point. And I'm asking you for help. If everyone who watched this donated $1, $2, $5, that would get me so much closer to a new tooth. I know this is crazy and weird and desperate, but that's pretty much exactly what I am. Think of it this way, the next time you see me eating a piece of thick, juicy New York strip, you can think, I'm part of that chew. So seriously, $1, $2, $5, $10, whatever you can give would get me one step closer to having a tooth. Again, fully aware of how weird this is. Seriously asking for your help, so if there's anything you can do, big or small, I would greatly, truly, and forever appreciate it. Because after all, doesn't everyone deserve a front tooth?
The amazing thing is,
Y'all come back now, you hear?
the amazing thing is not that he got funded, okay? He got funded $3,600 for a $3,400 campaign. He set his campaign for 10 days.
What?
He broke his tooth. No, listen to this. He broke his tooth on Saturday. He found out the doctor stuff on Sunday. He created the campaign on Monday. He was fully funded on Tuesday. He shut down his campaign. It was going out the roof. He literally changed the look, fundraiser closed. We don't usually do that. He was like, I can't do this, I'm taking all this money, I don't need it, whatever. We changed the title because people will come to the campaign, because still tons of people were coming to give him money. Because they were like, he deserves a tooth.
Is there a photo with the smile?
I actually don't know, but that's a good follow-up. Anyway, so crowdfunding works. Oh, my
Yeah, that's mine.
my email is that. So I don't have any cards. If you want a card, you can have it. They're really pretty. My Twitter is GoGoSlava. My email is slava@indiegogo. This is what my cards look like if you want one, but you don't really need one. Try to save the earth, whatever.
I'll make them.
Yeah.
Do you have time to answer?
Yeah, I answer all emails. Yeah. That's it.